As a junior data analyst, you might get confused with the terms data source and dataset. So do these two terms mean the same thing or are they completely different? Let's find out. In order to explain these terms, let's take a real world example. So let's assume that you're working for a company which is called Watches Forever and they sell their watches in all the four regions of a particular country. Now the sales records of all of these stores from all the four different regions are stored in a central server, as you can see right here. So basically where all of your central data is stored is called your data source. So the data source is in this case your server right here. Your data source can be a server, it can be a database, or it can be any file, and the data stored here can be in raw form or in processed form. Now as a data analyst, you are given the task to make a sales report of only the north region stores. For this, you are not going to use the whole data source as it contains the data of all the stores. Instead, what you're going to do is that you're going to extract a small data set and you're going to process it in an organized form. So when you're going to take small part of data from the main data source and you're going to process it, it becomes a data set. So let's assume that the main data source had over 10 million records. Then in this case, let's assume that the dataset had 1 million records. So querying 1 million records is much faster and relevant as compared to querying or analyzing 10 million records. So this is the main difference. Your data source is the main domain and your dataset is a sub part of the main data source. Hopefully you guys understand the concept and the difference between a data source and a dataset.